Health Tech. As we all know, in Health Tech talks, we invite experts from various fields and cover the subjects which are useful to doctors in their day-to-day practice, be it a small nursing home owner, be it an individual doctor, or a doctor who is working in the corporate hospitals. So continuing with the series, this time we have got something new, and we heard the word AI, artificial intelligence, everywhere. Now and then, when we treat patients, we are with patients in personal life, in professional life, AI everywhere. And as we all know, that marketing or something, a sort of promoting things in ethical way is a part of every business, and healthcare is no longer left behind. We have seen our colleagues spending a lot of money, efforts, and time in promoting their practice at various platforms. So we have decided to keep this new hot topic regarding AI, how these AI tools, means voice search and chatbots and etc., can be useful to all of us in our day-to-day practice. We may not be doing it on our own, but when we ask some expert to do it, at least we should know the basics, that how things are being done and how it will be done, how we can expect the result. Because at many a times when we see, whenever somebody hires a social media consultant, they say patient to nahi bade, followers nahi bade. So thing doesn't work like that. There is a definite science, like the medical science, behind this. So today we have got a very eminent speaker, Mr. Kandarp Bhatt, with us. Welcome, Mr. Kandarp.
Thank you. Thank you, Dr. Pranay.
And we have got Khushbu Sone with us. Welcome, Khushbu.
Hello. Thank you so much, sir.
Khushbu is a healthcare management and marketing consultant, is a freelancing healthcare management and marketing consultant. And currently she is with Endesco Technologies and managing around a good number of healthcare clients. So she has also got some insight on this use of technology in healthcare marketing. So without wasting much time, I will invite Khushbu, all yours now, and you can take the session further.
Thank you so much, sir. So I would like to welcome Mr. Kandarp Bhatt, speaker of our today's event, founder and CEO of ZealousWeb. He has more than 20 years of experience in digital healthcare marketing. He has helped medical practitioners growing their business into AI-powered SEO and data-driven strategies across India, US, GCC. And so I would like to welcome once again Mr. Kandarp Bhatt. Sir, Mr. Bhatt, great to have you here.
Yeah, thank you, Khushbu, for the kind introduction, and it's a pleasure to be a part of this, talk. A lot of people talk about this AI, as Mr. Pragnesh already said, and I think people want practical examples how it can be implemented, because those POCs are still missing. People wanted to see that what really matters for us, because with AI you can do so many things. So I'm glad that I'm being given an opportunity, and I will try to share some of those practical insights and case studies that we have worked in past, and would like to share my experience here. Yeah. So are we just going ahead with the presentation now?
Yes, sir.
Okay, good. So can someone share my screen, Rahul? Let me know when it is shared. Yes. Sorry. Let me know when you see it.
That is visible now.
Fine. So as we all know that my today's session is on future of healthcare marketing, and good afternoon all the viewers. And as rightly said and introduced by the team, I just wanted to say that for the next 30 minutes or so, we will be looking at some of the things that are relevant in terms of the advanced search engine optimization techniques, which is the voice SEO and voice search. And the second point is that on the AI chatbots, that how it can help with some of those tasks that we do, which are non-productive tasks, and it can be automated to make life easier for the patients, for the internal staff, for the healthcare practitioners as well. Before we go ahead into further, I would like to give a little bit more information about myself. I have been a part of little bit international conferences talking about digital marketing, digital transformation. And by education, I have a science graduation, plus I hold the computer degree in terms of the PGDCA course I did. And then I completed my master's in business administration from the Nirma University. I'm the youngest child of my parents, although I'm 45 years old. But I always tell to this in conferences that I'm a husband of a beautiful wife and a father of two kids. And take it from me that wives is always a beautiful. Uh, I also am a sports enthusiast, and I most of the time keep wickets and do the part-time bowling or batting given an opportunities. So that was a little bit about myself, and then moving to the real presentation. I would like to start it with the real-time story from Ahmedabad when I realized a year back that I think this is the real opportunity for the healthcare professionals. And it says that I and my nephew was driving in a car. So she was driving and I was sitting next to her, and she said that I think I need to see a skin doctor. And I said, why don't you search in Google and see? She said that instead of searching, she was using her car. And then she just said that, hey Google, can you find me a doctor near me who is open today, a skin doctor? And within the 2 minutes, like a Google My Business profile open up, and then there was a WhatsApp button where they clicked on it and then book an appointment and kind of thing. So that kind of an era that I see that people are going forward, and the age group that are trying to use more and more the voice search features and functionality. Having said that, I think people say that voice search is the future, but I would rather say that voice search is already here. If we have not implemented, then it becomes a future for us. Having said that, I think a statistic says that around 72% of the Indian smartphone users right now using voice search. And that is the report published by Google India in 2023. Uh, uh, Point is here that it includes not just the Google voice search, but everything that you do with the voice search kind of thing, which is more of like a trend nowadays. Now, if I look at what we were previously typing in this search when we were looking for certain things and what we are talking to now, there is a difference between that. And I just wanted to show that difference as well. So when we are typing, I think you will type that ENT doctor on a CG road. I took a reference of the local geography. We can always relate. And nowadays, if we go into the voice search, it talks more like an ENT doctor near me, CG road open today for the cold and cough. And why voice search is a long-term queries is because it's always easy to speak rather than typing. It's a tedious job. So one of the things that we as an experts noticed, and even if the tools that we use to identify what people are searching, we found that always a long-term keyword. So if I take another example, it's the orthopedics in Ahmedabad, right? And then if I search that, probably if I look at it, that what people are searching on the internet is that the best orthopedic near me who accept the walk-ins on Sunday, because you know that on Sundays they don't probably accept the walk-ins. It's only the right. So if this kind of long-term, search keywords are being optimized for your Google My Business profile, or maybe your search pages on the website or something like that, there are better chances that you rank above your competitors, and probably you have a better chance of getting an appointment booked, kind of thing. Having said that, even if I forget not just the Indian one, but if I talk about the Gujarat, like what such is growth is already there in the major cities in like Ahmedabad, Surat, or Rajkot. There is always an interesting stuff because this is a by default Google Map setting where whenever you speak anything, it translates into your local language being considered. So you need to change the setting, but not a lot of people are changing these settings. So what happens is that when I speak in English that I need doctors near me who is an orthopedic, they type it in Gujarati. It means that when you wanted to get ranked on that particular Gujarati language, you probably need your Google My Business profile for the regional language, as well as maybe you should have a website page or something like that, which also can be ranked. Maybe an article on your website could also come up with those rankings. But there are local, searches also with this happening. And then most of these searches and happening is either the question or research based, or they are more often like a near me search, which means that it's more about the local clinics or local doctors in their area. So 43% of the voice queries that usually are being done is with near me, which means that you should optimize all of your keywords with the near me kind of an words, because that's where the entire searches are happening. Now, I would like to share a local case study, and this is what I did for this presentation. That today morning when I was taking this print screen, I used my Mac desktop for the voice search to show you what exactly it shows. And I said that, I need a pediatrician in Maninagar, right? And that was a voice search. And you can see that in ideal world, when you search, you might either get a Google map or you sometimes get a normal search ranking. But you here see on the right hand side, it's Dr. Abhay Shah that has optimized his profile with lots of reviews, and then probably with his voice search, so that they know his own profile guy. And now here you have a better chance because it's a rich search results that you are looking at, and there is a better chance that you will get a call, or maybe they have a website visit to look at what exactly kind of services that they provide for the children's and all. So having said that, I think it's a GBP optimized result, and if you do a voice search, you probably outrightly leave your competitors around, and you can probably end up getting more appointments or maybe OPDs kind of thing. So I think voice search is also beneficial in a way where you probably get listed on the right side of the search results. If I talk about, so that was what the voice search thing that we were talking about. Moving on the chatbot, which I'm talking, we always say when I talk to the doctors and the clinics and hospitals, I say that they are your 24/7 receptionist. Why? Because first and foremost. So when I talk about chatbots, so I would like to quote this because once I saw a doctor and then I was talking certain things about the possibility of the kind of disease that I might have, and Google has, like the doctor has replied to me in a very humorous manner that Google karine આવ્યા છો કે શું. So nowadays this is something which is very famous, where people think that because of the AI now we can ask certain questions, basic things about basic disease, and we can treat ourselves. But that's not the truth. When I talk about the chatbot, it is not about talking about your disease or symptoms or kind of thing. It is more about the generic stuff. So let's say, for an example, you instantly respond to those common questions by patient, like what time the OPD runs, or like, do you guys open on Saturdays and Sundays? Or maybe something like, is your appointment is available by the call only, or there is a walk-in kind of thing. So these are the basic questions that probably people are nowadays putting in the chatbot, rather than asking about any symptoms or any kind of thing. So this is one of the way that you can implement your chatbots. The another point is that book an appointment. You always know that people always ask three things when you book an appointment: which date you wanted to see the doctor, what time, and probably the name of the person. Now, what happens is that right now chatbots, you can always say that give us a name, select the time based on the availability and the dates as well, and I think you are done. You don't need any other person. If there is any changes, if there is any schedule changes on the doctor's side, they can always cancel the appointments later on, kind of thing. But you don't need people for booking appointments, which is kind of thing. Think about an endocrinologist where you have an appointment with the doctor every 3 months. Now, every time you don't want to call someone and stand in the queue of those call centers and everything, you can just open the website, you can click the WhatsApp button, and you can just book the appointment. Third is the send reminders. I think it is very important in our busy life that patients do remember that they should schedule an appointment with the doctor a week ahead, because sometimes I have seen that people talk about, they had to see the doctor in 3 months' time and they see the doctor after 6 months. And it's just that, so in that case, if you have an chatbots or the automation that is in place where they send the reminder a week ago that you would like to schedule an appointment, and then there is a link to book an appointment and it's easy to do. So that's another way that people are implementing the chatbots. You can always collect the feedback. You always see that when you see the doctor, when you are going out, the receptionist would always tell you to give you a review because you need more reviews on your business profile, and they will request you to do it. The similar thing can also be done via, people are busy at times, but if this kind of an SMS or maybe the WhatsApp message is being sent, they can do it at their available time and probably give more detailed feedback rather than just giving 5-star or something. Because nowadays it's also important that your Google review should also contain some information like doctor's name or the kind of treatment that you have received, or your satisfaction levels, to do the sentimental analysis on the reviews that you receive. So I think that is another point that helps. Now, with this, I think it takes us to one of the success story that when we implemented this with one of the hospitals that we worked with, I think we see that using this board, I think 60% of the appointment will be booked. So if you implement this, these are the chances. There is also a less chance of dropping show. Why? Because I also talked with doctors that we get an appointment, but patient never show up. And I think when they do this effort through the booking engine chatbot, I think they are most likely to cancel it by themselves, because they get a notification and they just click it and they can cancel it themselves. So there is no cases like no show where doctors' times are being wasted. Also, because you have an automated system for the feedback, there is a huge less problem with forgetting asking about those feedback and everything, and then you get more 5-star reviews on your Google business profiles as well. Having said that, if we talk about from the marketing perspective, what is the typical modern patient funnel look like? And it starts with the voice search, like I said. So obviously, I'm not considering the typed search. Since we are focusing on the voice search, so I'm talking about that. The patient and finds the clinics that they using the voice, whatever clinics they find. Usually, there are chances because of the nearby queries, they will end up with the Google business profile, which is where they see all the information about reviews and the images and the recent questions that are being answered or something like that. But then there is an option recently added to the Google business profile where you can also have your WhatsApp icon embedded as well. So you can give your WhatsApp number there and you can just immediately start the conversation from there as well. So that's where they click on the WhatsApp and start chatting with you. And then, you can have either the chatbot or maybe a manual person. We recommend that you should always have an automation, because usually their queries are very common, for which you can always train your AI to answer the questions from your database. So they assist with the query and the scheduling, and then their booking is confirmed. So this is the modern patient, or maybe I would say that moving forward, people will be appreciating if you have these things to offer to your patients. If you implement this kind of a system, I think I would like to share that what ROI is going to look like. So let's say you usually get 50 bookings before implementing this. There are likely to get that maybe you have around 50% increase in your booking every day. If you have like 4 people, there were no showing, there is considerable amount of like 60 to 65% of no-shows will be reduced. If I talk about the front desk calls, usually you get a call because you don't have any booking system online. But once you have this kind of a chatbot or booking systems, probably you expect to have a less number of calls. So even your front desk executives are also not very, having a hectic schedule during the day. And they can probably give more time to the patients who are already there and can give that attention to them. And then I think, obviously, because you have an automated system to ask for the reviews, you can also expect that you will get more 5-star reviews, and then your overall review rating are also increased. So this could be your ROI. Like if you ask me that if I do voice search or maybe AI chatbot implementation, these are the benefits that we are looking, and these are the challenges that we are trying to solve by implementing this solution. If you want to know, ask me that what kind of tools that I should ask my team or maybe agency to, recommend for the chatbot. We all know, ChatGPT and Gemini and all those can be used for AI-based answers and everything. If it is about the voice search, obviously Google Business Profile needs to be optimized for that. And then there is a local directories and schema, which is a little bit on a technical side, but your agency, somebody from a digital marketing background, would always understand what it means. When it comes to the automation, Zapier is one of the global automation tool, but there is one local Indian tool that is called Zoho Flow. And I am not promoting any of this tool, but I'm just telling you based on the statistics. And then I think you have a Google Calendar and then WhatsApp Business API that you can utilize to, implement this entire solution that we talked about. When you implement this, the next question is that what metrics you should track, because ultimately you wanted to see your ROI and you should see if there is any difference. The solutions and the IT that we are trying to implement, is it helpful? And those success metrics, I would say that, you have to see that number of appointments that you were getting before via, and now how much you are getting after the chatbots, or maybe the number of shows that dropped, no shows dropped in your kind of thing, number of reviews. Sometimes it's, WhatsApp, you have a chance where if you send a message to someone, a patient, you know that whether they have opened your message or not, depending on their privacy settings. But with the SMS, you don't have that information. You have an information that you delivered that, but whether patient has looked at it from, read it or understood it, you never get a confirmation on that. So these are the things that you should, usually track when you implement any of these solutions. I know I talked to a lot of people since last 1 year, doctors and everyone, and they have an objections, right? And I would like to talk to about those objections as well. And the first thing that I have ever heard that my patient don't use the tag, which you are talking about. And I was always say that, why is this even simpler than typing, right? And I see that even seniors, I tell you a story of my own father, who is 75 years old. And nowadays, when we have to search anything, he always, use the Siri because he has an iPhone. So he said, "Hey Siri, find me this," kind of thing. So even you are enabling this, your non-tech people will be able to talk in any language, even if it's Gujarati, Hindi, or English. The another objection is that when you talk about these high-tech things, it always come to our mind that it is going to be the expensive. And Gujarati jiye to that comes into the mind, it has to be the cost effective. But I would say that a minimum, $1,000 a month you invest and you can implement this entire automation chatbot. And I think it's cost less than a chai bill, and somebody who is having a coffee bill as well. But all I'm saying is that it's nothing, it's peanut for us. And I don't trust the bots because they believe that I'm the doctor, we are the specialist, how a bot can reply on behalf of us. But like I said in my previous slide, it is about non-sensitive information and the basic task that we are trying to accomplish using these kind of things. So these are the responses that I used to give. So at this point, if you have this kind of an objections, I just wanted to share the case studies from my previous experience with the client. If I talk about the vision ahead, 2026-27, how it looks like, I would not be surprised if people started, voice search in Gujarati itself. Mari Najikna orthopedic doctor Shodhi apo, kind of a thing, right? A local language voice search, not just the speaking in English, but I can see that people might do it, and you should be prepared for that as well. The entire journey handled without the call from, like I said, no calls ringing in your hospital's reception tables, because it's just the patient and the doctors. It's nobody in between. So kind of things. And the smart clinics which we have right now, that can probably become the big clinics, because they have everything automized. They have their marketing support, their staff is happy, the patient is very happy, they have a referral patients and everything. So all I can see is that these smart clinics right now could become even the bigger clinics as well. Having said that, I think since I had a limited time to cover everything, because this topic may have more things, but there are several things that you might be interested. And before I open this for the question and answer, I would just summarize this entire presentation with the quote that says that the future of healthcare marketing is not about being bigger, but it's more about being smarter. And in order to do that, you have to automate your ordinary tasks so you can only focus on your extraordinary thing, which is the patient care. And with this said, I think now it's open to any questions. And thank you for your time.
Yes, Khushbu. Thank you. That was a very excellent talk, and I was also surprised to know a lot of things which I am still not aware. And as you rightly pointed out, local language search always gets preference. I wonder whether whenever, at least I have created my Google business profile and I'm maintaining it, but it is absolutely there in English. Obviously, I do not have any professionals to manage it. But there are no local. I don't know if somebody searches in Gujarati. I may not be found. I
Yes.
need to look for that also. Is there any option that individuals can, with the help of this, because I am Ahmedabadi, so I will ask an Ahmedabadi question.
Sure.
That anyone can do a try with the help of this Chat GPT and all, and incorporate that both in the Google My Business profile itself. Is it possible?
So you can't integrate the boat by default, but you can just have the white WhatsApp icon which opens the boat, and then
Okay.
the boat needs to be subscribed. So there are options where you have third-party tools that you can use. So for example, if I talk about an Indian, there is a called Gupsup. If you might have seen the advertisement of Vati, kind of an software which allows you to go. So there are few companies was built that entire automated solutions where you
Okay.
just connect your WhatsApp business API. So you just put your couple of credentials there, and then you can just start, writing those questions and answering them, and they automatically being pulled for the queries that is being done. So
Okay.
I would say that you can embed your WhatsApp icon, WhatsApp link into your Google profile, but your patient won't know what is happening in the background. But there is
Okay.
a little bit of integration work that needs to be done where you subscribe to third-party applications, and which is
Okay.
where I was talking about those 1,000 rupees per
Yeah.
month.
Yeah. Yeah.
Is
Yeah.
the which includes that kind of an
Okay.
arrangement.
Understood. Understood. Yes, Khushbu, any questions from your side? And how many do you think these chatbots are useful only for bigger hospitals, or an individual out can also benefit from this?
I would say bigger hospital has a staff, and they need their work for their staff as well.
True.
I would say even a one-man army doctor would be highly beneficial, because what happens is that when you are at a startup, you're a clinic, probably you don't even have a full-time receptionist that could be really help you with this booking and everything. So I would say that the smaller you are, better is that you adopt these technologies, which probably help you with this automation and chatbots and everything. Ideally, if you ask me, who are your clients that are using these? They are maybe the small clinics that
Yeah.
have 3 to 4 different doctors, and they have different departments for which they wanted to ask certain questions or queries like this. But it doesn't mean like a practitioner of any size can afford or should implement any of these things. And voice search is for everybody. It has nothing to do with any kind of.
Okay, understood, understood. Yes,
Yes.
Kuldeep.
Sorry to be late. But I would like to ask, how does the reminder thing works for the patients and the doctor?
Got it. So reminders are, it's like, depending on which scheduling system that you use. So you might have your own offline software that you might be using for booking the patients, or you might be using Google Calendar, or you might wanted to create your own custom, calendar, which you probably need to get coded by yourself. So there are various options that you can do. Depending on which option you have in place, you need to talk to your vendors. But I think whenever there is a reminder that is going from their softwares, then you don't want it to give two reminders to your patients. Otherwise, it would be bombarding. So if there is no facility in there, what happens is that you might need to make a little bit of changes into the existing software that you are using, or maybe if you are using Google Calendar, there are certain actions that you can set where those numbers, like WhatsApp numbers, you can always set. And when you were not here, I was speaking to Dr. Pragnesh about there are third-party tools available that people install called Vati or maybe Gupshup or these kind of a softwares, where you can always set up these things when, these workflows, that if this is a booking related query, you have to follow this workflow and before 7 days. So there are three third-party softwares already available in the market that you can always utilize as well.
Okay.
For the reminder part, yeah.
Yeah, okay. I have one more question. Would it work sensitively for the emergency patients? Because usually emergency voice words are more
Obviously.
sensitive, right?
Yes, I would seriously against using chatbots for the emergencies, because first and foremost thing is that we have been educated when there is an emergency, you should always call 108. You should not even talk to the hospitals or something like that, because you don't know whether the patient have this critical situation where the ambulance from, let's say, a hospital would come here and then pick up kind of thing. So we have been taught that it's 108 and let them decide which is the nearest hospital that you wanted to go for. And for the emergencies, I don't think you required any sort of booking, because you always have a emergency and sections in each of these hospitals where they take you immediately. So I think for that, you don't even require emergency. So yes, from the patient's perspective, I don't think so we should configure any of this chatbot about it. Even if patient asks that what should I do in case of emergency, and we should advise it that either call 108 or maybe directly reach to the hospital. That should be the answer from our side. That's my perspective.
Okay.
Yeah.
So I got my answers.
Mhm.
Thank you so much, Kandarp Bhatt. And it was very nice, it was a short talk, but it was very nicely explained with good examples.
And I also,
Sir, over to you, sir.
yeah, and before Pragnesh sir take it over, I appreciate
And
those.
I just wanted to ask something. See, we Gujaratis are very fond of talking on phone.
Yes.
So don't you think these chatbots will take away that sensitivity? वो connect वो मजा लई लेशे मजा आवड़ी एम.
I always say that કે આપણે આમે તે doctors ને ત્યાં જઈએ ને ત્યાં they always have one instruction that your reporting time is not your doctor's reporting time. Your booking time is your reporting time, which means that you anyway have to wait 30 minutes outside in the reception area, which is where you can always satisfy, talking to the people. Because I'm coming from a technology background, I would always say that, why not if you wanted to talk, rather than having a human on the next side, you can always talk to the Siri, talk to the Alexa. they are also going to respond to you. And nowadays they respond, if you ask them sensible questions, they reply to you in a sensible way only. So,
Sure.
but yeah, I understand. For a change, you can always, when you are having a time, you don't want a convenience, I think you can still continue to use our, method of booking. And sometimes, these are technologies. You have something, but there is, with the software, there is always a bug, right?
Yeah.
And if it is not working, not responding, you always have to go back to your original thing, and you can always reach out to them. So I'm not saying that let's stop our traditional booking method. We are saying that we are adding one more feature where if patients wants a convenience, they can use it. Otherwise, they can follow up with their traditional method.
And any tips for more chances of being found via voice search?
Yes, I think you have to work on your structured data and schema markup. That's one of the things. Another thing is that your articles, your content should be more question-based, because on the voice search, people do ask question a lot. So that's how it should be. And another thing is that when we write a content, nowadays people write content, a lot of content with the AI. I always tell my team that if you produce any content with these AI tools, always give them a conversational tone. So when you give a conversational tone, it becomes automatically voice friendly, because Google has an indexed page where somebody is asking a question, they will always attract the page which has a conversational tone.
Okay.
So when we are writing a content, I would always say that kind of thing. And obviously, last but not least, FAQs. You should always have a FAQ for every article that you produce, every landing pages that you have. People used to have articles should have an FAQ and landing page should be minimum content. I don't agree to this, because with the landing pages, you have an FAQ, which is about getting into the deal with you. Let's say if I get my surgery done with you, what are the post-operative symptoms and all those kind of. So landing page should have a different kind of an FAQ. Article should have a different kind of an FAQ. But FAQ is something which is also a very helpful to get found on these voice search. And one more thing, because you asked about this, the way voice search work is that when you ask Google, right, it uses the Google search engine. So when you ask maybe Siri, it uses the Google, but when you ask Alexa or something, they bring the results and give weightage to the Bing and the other search engine as well. So every voice assistance has their own algorithm to rank sites. So there is a case that one site which is ranked on Google as well as Bing, they will come up as a result. But I'm just saying that these voice search assistance has a different way to bring the results in. So you should be, if you are not just focused on Google, but you should be focused on, because you don't know where people are searching, whether they are searching in mobile phone, desktop, or maybe any of the devices like, Alexa or something.
Fine. Khushbu, any more questions from your side?
No, sir.
Okay, fine.
But I really like all those questions that you guys asked. It is something that, I got a chance to share some of my experiences. It reminded me some of the conversations that we had within the team with the doctors and everything. So thanks for asking those questions, because that was not a part of my presentation.
Agree. So thank you, Mr. Kandarp, for a very nice and informative talk. And see, as you said, there are a lot of things which needs to be practical, and doctors also need to look beyond academics, and that's what is happening. And as I said in the beginning, whenever we assign some work to some agencies or something, doctors need to be equally contributive. Otherwise, the content that will be generated, that will be stereotyped, maybe copied from one place to another. So doctors need to be proactive and actively participate in whatever the promotional or informative material, maybe doctor or their team who is posting on the various forms of social media. Thank you, Kandarp Bhai. And before I close, I would like to invite all the viewers and all of us to join on the 20th of April at Vapi. We are going to have a health tech update for doctors coming up, the next mega event coming up on 20th of April at Vapi. So I request all of us to join, and you can visit the website of Hitcon for more details. Thank you everyone for joining. Thank you, Kandarp Bhai, and thank you, Khushbu, for sparing your valuable time and joining us. Thank you.